Listen, what you can't do is piss on my head and call it rain. It happened again. Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Liallure and I'm back at it again with another video. If you're new to my channel, hey girl, hey, my name is Leah. I make videos, storytime hauls. I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So it's like for the kids, you know the vibes. And if you're a returning subscriber, hey friend, how are you? I hope you're doing wonderful, fabulous, beautiful, amazing. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And no matter who you are, new or returning, don't forget to give me a huge like and drop a comment down below. Liking the video helps me a lot, and so does commenting. Even if you don't have anything to say, leave me a heart, leave me a thumbs up, leave me a hey girl, hey. Tell me where you're from, anything, okay? And help your girl get into the algorithm. So I really didn't want to tell this story because if you're not new here, you know that this is not my first rodeo. This is not my first time being scammed, being gypped, hoodwinked, or bamboozled. It's not my first time. It's honestly not even my third time. So I didn't want to tell this story because at this point it's getting embarrassing, and it really feels like there are some forces in the universe that are plotting against me. Like, it really doesn't matter how good of a person I am or what I do to service the world and people around me. Things always hit the shitter, you know what I mean? And I didn't want to tell this story because I'm embarrassed. It's embarrassing. Like, I'm always coming back with stories about how I'm getting scammed, and at this point I know y'all think I'm stupid. I know y'all think I'm dunce, but I'm explaining. And this situation is a little bit more complicated because honestly, I don't even think I fully understand what's happening here. Like, I don't know if this is a full scam, or I don't know if this is like an accident or a coincidence. Like, I really don't know. So by the time you finish that story, make sure you leave your opinions in the comments and let me know what you think. Like, was this given full scam, or was this given like maybe it was an accident, girl? Like, let me know. If you are not new here, then you've probably seen that in May, so yeah, just 2 months ago, I went to Jamaica for my boyfriend's birthday. It was my boyfriend's birthday. It was a really big milestone in his life, and he wanted to go to Jamaica. So I said, cool, this is where you're from. I've never been to Jamaica, and I'm island gal myself, but I've never been to Jamaica. I know a lot of Jamaicans. I have a lot of Jamaican friends, exes, but I had never been to the island. And I've noticed that, like, since the start of the pandemic in 2020, like, everybody has been going to Jamaica. Like, Jamaica and Tulum, they outside. And I was like, yeah, all that. Like, I want to see Jamaica as well, not only because it's my boyfriend's island, but also because, like, it looks beautiful. So we agreed to go to Jamaica for his birthday, and I got to planning. Now, y'all probably already know I'm super type A when it comes to planning. So because I'm the planner between me and my boyfriend, he let me have free reign, and he was like, you know what, I just want to go to Jamaica. It really doesn't matter what we do. So I started thinking of some activities. Didn't really plan or book anything, but the things I wanted to get down first was, of course, the flight and the hotel. The flight was not that big of a deal, so there's nothing to talk about there, but the hotel was a little bit more complicated from the very beginning. At the time, because I'm on TikTok a lot, I kept seeing videos about like resorts and hotels in Jamaica. The algorithm said, for you. I kept seeing videos about like resorts and stuff like that, all the places to avoid, places that the food was not so good, places where the service was bad, yada yada. I was very careful about where we stayed because, like I told y'all, if I'm gonna leave my home, if I'm gonna leave the state, the country, I need to be comfortable where I lay my head at. So I was very meticulous about finding a hotel. I needed some place that the hotel rooms were clean, that the service was good, the service people there were very friendly, they had a lot of amenities, and also just somewhere that was like affordable, just like a good price, you know. I did some digging around, and I finally found a place that we wanted to stay. Now I'm gonna tell you guys the name of the hotel, but I'm not telling you the name of the hotel so you guys can go harass these people or like just say no, I'm never gonna stay there. Like I said, listen to the whole story before you make your opinion on whether or not you would want to go to this resort. The place we decided to stay was called the Hilton Rose Hall Resort and Spa in Montego Bay. I booked the hotel through Expedia from May 10th through May 15th. I don't remember the price of the stay, but I'm gonna put it on the screen. I booked this resort through my debit card, and I'm saying that because it's important. I used my debit card to make this purchase. I used it for basically everything else moving onwards. If it wasn't in cash, it was on that card. Like I said, that's important. Before we got to Jamaica, I made a few calls. The first was to make sure that the hotel had our information down. You know, when you book through these third-party websites, like, you have to make sure that you call the hotel directly to make sure they have your information, because sometimes Expedia, Travelocity, whoever, they just don't give them your information in a good amount of time. There might be a glitch, whatever, and now all of a sudden you're in Jamaica and you have nowhere to stay. So I called them to make sure that they had our names. They said yes, we're all good to go. And then I also asked them about the extra fees. You know, when you go to a hotel, you have to pay like, is it incidental fees? I think it's an incidental fee. It's like the fee that you pay and then they like put it back on your card. It's like a hold basically. So I asked them what the hold was, so I had just about that amount of money on my card no matter what. They told me the hold was $200. I said, cool, noted, no problem. The second call I made was to book a birthday dinner for my boyfriend on the night we landed. So May 10th, I wanted to have a birthday dinner for him on the beach. The lady on the phone was super sweet. I forgot her name, but she was like so nice. My call dropped a few times because while I was on the phone with her, I was getting my hair braided. And then I was also using like a calling card app, so I would run out of minutes and stuff like that. She would call me back right away to make sure we were on the same track. She waited for me to get the emails that she was sending to me to verify everything. She waited to see if I had questions. Like, she was so helpful. And let me just say that everyone I had spoke to on the phone before Jamaica and after Jamaica was also really nice. The third phone call I made was to book transportation. Now, I saw on the website that you could call them for transportation details, so that's what I did. I called them and I told the lady like, hey, I'm coming to Jamaica on May 10th. I'm staying at your hotel. Like, I saw that I could book transportation through you guys. How does that work? She told me that it's a certain amount of money for each person from the airport to the resort, and then you would have to pay when you get there. So I think you have to pay when you get to the resort. She told me that when I get there, go to desk whatever number, tell them my name, tell them where I'm going, and they'll show me to my ride. That's what she told me. She told me that it would be $40 in total for the two of us to get to the hotel from the airport. Great. She didn't charge my card at the time. Nothing. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'm gonna pay it when I get there. When we land in Jamaica, I go to the desk that she told me to go to, and lo and behold, they have no idea who the hell we are. I give her my name. She does not see me in the books. She does not see a driver listed for our hotel. She doesn't see anything like that. So she's like, I'm sorry, ma'am, like, I really don't see your name. Like, did you get a booking number? Did you get a confirmation number? Did they tell you any details? I was like, no, she just told me to come to this desk number, tell you guys my name, and tell you where I was going, and that y'all would show me to the driver. So the lady is like, oh yeah, we don't see you here. Like, we don't know anything about that, but give me a second, I'm gonna call them. So I turn around to my boyfriend and I'm like confused, because I'm like, why would she tell me to come here if she didn't actually put the booking down and all of that? Nonetheless, the lady at the front desk calls the resort. She's on the phone with them. She's like, yeah, you have some customers here who are coming to your resort, and they said that you guys told them to come here, but we don't have their name down. Like, we don't know what we should do about this, So I turn around and I'm still talking to my boyfriend. At this point, I don't hear the rest of the conversation. She says, miss. I turn around, she talks to me, and she's like, so we're gonna get you guys a driver to get to your resort. Don't worry about it. We go outside. She shows us to a driver. She's talking to him. They're talking about price and stuff like that, and she turns around to me and she says, yeah, you can pay him $40, right? Pay him $40 when you get there. So I was like, okay, cool, no problem. The bus driver is super nice. Like, he's talking to us, he's showing us around, he's showing us all the different resorts and stuff in Montego Bay. You know, he's telling us about excursions and all of that. Like, really nice man. Fast forward, we get to the hotel, we get out the car and we pay him. We pay him $40 plus tip. So upon getting there, we actually got there pretty early. I forgot what time the flight landed. Again, all screenshots will be on the screen, but we got there super early before check-in. Like, check-in was at 3, and I think we got there around like 12 o'clock or something like that. Whole time I'm thinking that we're gonna have to sit on the couches or like go to the pool or whatever until it's time for us to check in. Fortunately for us, the guy at the desk told us that there was actually a clean room available that we can go to instead of waiting until 3 for a room on like a higher floor or something like that. My boyfriend was stupid tired, of course, because his birthday was the night before, and I was tired as well. Flying and traveling is very taxing on the body, so at that point I just wanted to take a shower, you know, sit, get something to eat, have a little drinky drink, and get ready for dinner that night. So I said, cool, no problem. He tells me about the deposit that I told you guys about earlier, the $200 hold. He told me about that, and I gave him the money. I gave him my card, the same card I paid, right? The same debit card I used to pay my hotel room with on Expedia. I gave him the same card. He doesn't tell me anything about the type of card that I use. He doesn't even, I asked, he said, what type of card are you using? I said, it's a debit card. He said, okay. He charges the card. He gives me a receipt. Then he gives me all the paperwork to sign. Now, here is where I messed up. I was signing this paperwork and I was kind of skimming it over, but if I'm gonna be completely honest, a lot of it I glanced over. So there was like this one piece of paper in particular that I should not have signed, but we're gonna get to that later. I signed the paper, he gives us the keys, he tells us the Wi-Fi information. I go to the next desk and I tell them about like the birthday setup. They're like, yeah, we have you all ready to go. Just come here around this time and you guys will be good. So the actual trip itself goes off without any issue. We had a lot of fun. We went on 2 excursions. It was so much fun. We took a lot of pictures. We drank. I had like the most rum punch I've ever had in my life. Jesus Christ. But yeah, it was like a really good time, you know. But overall, like, I was definitely like, yeah, I'm definitely coming back to Jamaica next year. I'm definitely coming back to Jamaica for your next birthday. Whenever else you want to go to Jamaica, like, we out, you know what I'm saying? The staff at the hotel were super nice as well. Like, we made friends with the bartenders, we made friends with the activities people. Like, we tipped everybody heavily everywhere we went. Because one thing about us, anytime we go to a resort, anytime we go on vacation, we're gonna tip the people there, because we already know what it's like living on an island and not making the money that you feel like you deserve. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an island girl, he's an island boy. Like, we know and we understand. So we paid it forward and we tipped heavily every time we got a service. All right, so now checkout comes. So now we're at May 15th. So we go to the checkout table. I'm giving the keys back, you know, everything like that. She's asking me how our stay was. We said our stay was fantastic. We'll be back. It was amazing. So then I go to ask her. I said, hey, do you know when the hold will be lifted from my account and when the money will be back in my account from the incidental fee, the $200 that I paid? Like, do you know when it'll be lifted? She says, you're checking out right now, the money will be back as soon as possible. Like, it might take, you know, 3 to 5 business days, but it'll be back as soon as possible. So I said, great, no problem, amazing. We get back to America. Now fast forward, it's May 18th. It's been 3 days, still no refund. Still no refund. I'm confused. So on May 18th, I'm like, I did not get a refund, so I'm gonna call them back. I call them, I get the operator, and I'm like, hey, like, I'm waiting on a refund from the incidental fee. I still did not get my money back. There's, you know, I'm still out $200. And she's like, what type of card did you use? I say, a debit card. You know what this lady told me? Oh, it'll take 30 days if you used a debit card to get your money back. 30 days?
Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn.
30 days. It'll take 30 days to get my money back?
I beg your pardon?
At this point, I'm confusion. I'm bare confusion, because I've been to quite a few hotels and resorts, and I had never heard anybody tell me it'll take 30 days to get my bread back. I've never heard that a day in my life. My boyfriend is in the back of me. He's also confused as shit. He's like, what are you talking about? 30 days? Like, that's a really long time. So the lady tells me, like, yeah, something about our system, like 30 days, like the debit cards take a really long time to come back to your card. We're sorry about that. We'll try to get it to you as soon as possible. So I'm like, okay, there's nothing I could do about it at this point. I have to charge it, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, the money is already taken out. The only thing I can do is wait for it to come back. So I'm waiting, and 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 I'm waiting. Girl, it got to July 8th. Where's my money? Where's my money?
Send the motherfucking funds.
Where's my money? Because at this point, it's been a month and then some. Where's my bread? I call back on July 8th, and the operator gets me. She's like, hi, how may I direct your call? And I'm telling her, like, hey, can you send me to the accounting department or whoever handles the deposits, the incidental fees? Direct me to them. So she's like, okay, no problem, I'll transfer you. She transfers me. The phone is ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing. Nobody is at that accounting department. No one's there. When I tell you, I was hunting down the accounting department for weeks. I was hunting them down for literal weeks. Every single time I called, there was no one there. No one ever answered the phone. One time I called, and I didn't even bother being transferred to the accounting department. I spoke to the operator, and I was like, hey, I want to inquire about getting my deposit back, because I checked out on May 15th. Like, it's literally the middle of July. I have not received my money back, and don't transfer me to the accounting department either, because every single time I call, there's literally never anybody there. Now, mind you, this is a very frustrating situation to anyone. Anyone would be like, what the actual living hell is this? Where is my money?
It's my money and I need it now.
But I'm not going off on these people, because at the end of the day, the person on the phone, my beef is not with her. And to be honest, my beef is not really with anybody at that department, because I don't know who is responsible. I don't know who's responsible. So I'm not going off on anybody. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm being nothing but kind. I just want my money back. That's it. So the operator's on the phone, and she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, it's been a really long time. Like, you should have definitely gotten your money back. I'm so sorry about that. She's very sympathetic about it. She's giving me the empathy and all of that. And so she says, hold on a minute. She comes back. She takes all my information down. She looks me up in the system, and she tells me exactly what card I use. She sees the last 4 numbers. She repeats it back to me. I say, yes, that was the card. She says, huh, interesting. You definitely should have gotten that money back because I see that the card was charged. I see the charge right here on the card, but yet you didn't get your money back. She says what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and forward this to my manager who's standing right next to me. And what we're gonna do when we get hold of the accounting department is give them this code. We're gonna send it to your bank so that they could release the money back into your account. Here's the number. She gives me this like confirmation code or whatever, and she said, here, we're gonna send this to your bank because we see it right here, and we're gonna try to get them to release it back to you. Okay, now here's the kicker. A few weeks ago, yes girl, a few weeks, and guess what today's date is? August 15th. So it's literally been June, July. It's been 3 months. Yes. So it's been 3 months since I checked out. A few weeks ago, I called them and I'm like, really, at this point, like I really want to cry because y'all are giving me the run around. And I know some people might be thinking like, girl, it's only $200, da-da-da-da. It's not about the $200. Really, at the end of the day, like y'all used my card for something and you're not giving me my money back. So I really don't know if you use my card for anything else, to be honest with you. It's really giving big time scam now. And I really want to know what's up. Somebody has to give me some answers. Really give me some answers. I get the operator and at first I say, you know what, let me just try accounting one more time. Of course, I get transferred to accounting. Nobody answers the phone. I hang up, I call them again. The next time I got the operator, I said, hey, I just called you to be transferred to accounting, but I really want to ask you a question. I've been calling for literally like 2 months now, trying to get this accounting department and no one is ever there. What are their times of operation? She tells me their time of operation, and guess what? The time that I was calling, they were supposed to be at their department. It wasn't lunchtime. It really wasn't. So why was there no one there? Confused. So I'm like, yeah, can you please get someone to go to the accounting department and please answer my call? I've been calling for 3 months now, and I tell her, like, I checked out May 15th. I have not gotten my money back. Again, this woman is on the phone, very sympathetic. She's like, I am so sorry. Like, it's been way too long. You should have definitely gotten your money back. Let me get my manager, and they're gonna get someone to come to the accounting department and answer your phone call. She puts me on hold for like 3 minutes. Then she says, okay, I'm gonna transfer you right now. She transfers me. Finally, someone is at the accounting department. So I get this woman on the phone, and she's like asking me how she can help me, and I tell her the situation again. And she's like, oh wow, like again, it's been a really long time that you haven't got your money back. We're so sorry about this. This should have never happened. Again, I'm being asked what type of card I use, and I tell her a debit card, like I told everybody else. To my surprise, the lady on the phone tells me, a debit card? Are you sure you used the debit card? I was like, yeah, it was a debit card. She goes into the account, she searches up my name, and she repeats the last 4 numbers of my card, and I say, yes, that's my card. It's a debit card. She says, why are you so confused, ma'am? What's confusing you? What's puzzling you? She tells me that my debit card should have never been charged to begin with because they instructed everybody at the front desk that we should not be using, we as in the customers, should not be using debit cards to get charges on our account while staying at the resort because they've been having problems with debit cards for a really long time now. And so they instructed everybody not to charge a debit card and ask customers for credit cards instead. She said, when you checked in, nobody told you you couldn't use a debit card? I said, no ma'am. Nobody ever told me anything about not being able to use a debit card. He charged my card and that was it. He didn't ask me no questions. He didn't tell me no side chatter, no nothing. He just charged it and that was that. I was never told anything else about my card from that day on. So now I'm like confused, and I'm a little bit more suspicious because I'm like, how is it that someone was able to charge my card when he's been being instructed for a few months now, according to this woman, to not charge debit cards? How is it possible that this happened? First, it was you'll get your money back on time. Then it was you need 30 days to get your money back. And now it's, well, you should have never had your card charged to begin with because we told them not to do that shit. Something's not adding up.
You cannot trick me.
Right? Something's not adding up. Now, you would think that it stops here, but it really doesn't. It really does not. Okay, and I'm gonna power through this because my mouth is getting. She's like, okay, let me look into your account and make sure you get your money as soon as possible. Like, we're gonna have to like send an authorization letter to your bank so that they could release this money because I see this charge on your account. I know that you were charged the hold for the incidental fee, but I don't see it being released back into your account. So I know for sure you need your money back. So she's on the line with me and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting. waiting. She comes back and she's like, okay, ma'am, here's what we're gonna do. She's like, type in the authorization form or whatever, and she's like, I'm gonna send this to you right now. This is what we're sending to your bank, but I need you to email me back your bank's, you know, address and all that information, da 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 da. But then she goes to say, so you'll be getting $160 back from the hotel. How many times did I tell y'all I was charged $200? Why is this lady now telling me that I'm getting $160 back? That shit is not making no sense. So I'm like, $160? Like, what do you mean $160? Isn't the incidental fee $200? She's like, yes, it's $200, but I see that you were charged $40 for something else here. I'm like, $40? Nobody ever charged me $40 for something else. So what is it that I got charged for? I'm confused. Ah, God, if I'm lying, I'm dying. This lady told me that I was charged $40 for the transportation. Not you charging me $40 for the transportation that never came. Let's take it back a few more steps. I told y'all that when I called before I got to Jamaica, the lady told me that it would be $40 for both me and my boyfriend to get from the airport to the hotel. I agreed to that. It was no issue. But when I got there, there was no transportation from the hotel waiting. They never sent anyone for us. Okay, so the actual airport had to get another driver who was already on the premises to take us to the hotel. I had paid that man $40 in cash. I paid him $40 in cash. So why are you charging me $40 for a service that was never rendered? And I know that y'all knew that the service was never rendered because I watched the lady get on the phone and call the hotel and tell them like, yeah, y'all never sent a bus here for these two people. So what do you want us to do about it? Why are you still charging me $40? Okay, so now I'm on the phone with the lady and I'm like, absolutely not, absolutely not. I said, listen, yes, I did call and I booked transportation, but when I got to the hotel, when I got to the airport, there was no said transportation waiting for us. We had to get a driver on the premises who we paid in cash $40. So I should have never been charged $40 again. I don't know what you're talking about, ma'am. So she's like, okay, just give me a second. So she gets all the information and all that down. And afterwards, I receive an email. And I'm gonna put a screenshot of the email right here. I don't have the email with me. But essentially what she said is like, oh, hey, so you will be getting $160 back because we do see the $40 charge for the transportation, which you signed off on when you checked into the hotel. Again, let's take it back. Remember how I told y'all I was tired, I was anxious, like there was so much going on the day that we checked into the hotel. I was just signing shit blindly, which, like I said, I take complete ownership of and I take accountability for, because no matter how I was feeling, I should have definitely looked at all that paperwork and not signed anything that I did not agree to. So that was on me for signing the paperwork. However, I should have never been charged that shit to begin with. That's it. Yes, I authorized the payment, but like I said, y'all never sent the transportation and you know that you never sent it. So now you're just trying to pull the wool over my eyes at this point. With my eyes open, you're trying to pull the wool over me. Listen, what you can't do is piss on my head and call it rain, because I know for a fact that y'all didn't bring that shit. Y'all didn't organize the transportation you said you was going to. So I basically paid $80 for no reason. $40 for the bus that I actually did go on and $40 for the one that never came. All right, cool. So yeah, that was that essentially. So I think a few days after that, of course, I still did not receive the money back. To this day, I did not receive the money back. But another thing that I found to be weird is that when I called my bank and I explained them the situation, not only did they give me someone incompetent, but again, the situation was not resolved. Usually when I call my bank, they're able to resolve the situation. They always release my money back to me no matter what. But this time was a little bit different. The guy on the phone, I don't know if this was his first day. I don't know if I was his first training call even, but he couldn't even help me in the slightest. Prior to calling my bank, I actually went on my portal and I checked my account statements. I checked every single charge that I got from the hotel and I wanted to make sure that the charge was still there. Surprisingly, it was not. The $200 that I was charged, I did not see it on my card. So now I'm like, okay, this is getting even weirder. Like it's really getting strange at this point. So I called my bank because my reasoning was, even if I'm not able to see it on my end, surely my bank can see if something was charged to my account. Even if the hold was lifted and it disappeared, they should be able to see if it was charged in the first place, which I know for a fact it was, because I used my card for the fee. And the hotel themselves told me that they see the receipt. They sent me the receipt. They said, yeah, we see that you were charged this amount. So where'd the money go? Where did the charge go? All right, at this point, I feel like I'm Sherlock Holmes. Okay, I'm Sherlock Holmes girl up in this, because I have no idea where my money went, and I feel like I'm being given the runaround. So I'm on the phone with this man and I'm like, yeah, like, can you help me? Like, I have no idea where this charge is. Like, I don't see it. When I tell you, I spent 15 minutes doing absolutely nothing on this phone because I had to keep explaining shit to this man. I had to keep telling him the name of the resort. I had to keep telling him what days I went to the resort, how much the charge was. It's like he just wasn't comprehending what I was saying. He wasn't picking up what I was putting down. And so I just got frustrated to the point where I was like, you know what, sir? It's fine. It's okay. Have a good night. And I hung up the phone because it just felt like no one was helping me. Like, literally no one was helping me through this situation. And I was like, what the everlasting is this? So I think after that point, like, I just got so frustrated. Like, I think I actually cried about it. And again, it's not because of the amount of money, but rather because, like, I had such a good time on this trip and I feel like I was bamboozled. You know what I mean? Like, it's disheartening when you feel like you had a good time and you come back home and then all of a sudden it's like, but wait, there's more. You know, I really felt a way about that whole situation. And at the end of the day, I decided to charge it to the game because I'm not about to chase a hotel and I'm not about to chase my bank for $200. If the money comes back, the money comes back, and who knows, the money might come back for me telling the story time. So one thing about me, I'm blessed and never stressed, so it's gonna double back either way. It's gonna come back. So yeah, that's what I decided to do. I decided to charge it to the game, and I'm not gonna chase these people anymore. But like I told y'all in the beginning of the story, I'm not telling this because I want y'all to avoid this hotel. Like I said, I had a great time. The service people there were so nice. Like, the whole experience was nice, the food was nice, the pools were clean, like, it was all great. But the lesson I learned here is to always use a credit card when doing stuff like that. Now, do I know whether or not the same situation would have happened even if I did use a credit card? Who knows? But the fact of the matter was, I used my card from the very beginning to the very end, and nobody told me anything until it was time to pay up and give me my shit back. Nobody was accountable for it. Nobody ever said, like, oh, you know, when I got there, what should have happened is the man should have told me, like, do you have a credit card, because we can't really use debit cards. Like, the debit cards, there's a problem with it. He didn't say anything. He just charged my card, and then that was the end of that. So I feel like that really wasn't my fault at the end of the day. The whole transportation system, I should not have signed the authorization paper for release of payment, but at the same time, I should have never been charged that payment because I never received the service. The service was never rendered. So yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of it. Like I said, y'all want to go to this resort, I had a good time. Don't forget to check out my Jamaica vlog if you haven't already. But just be careful when you're making payments. That's up to y'all really at the end of the day. And let me know what you think about this situation. Like, let me know what you think happened. Let me know if it's a scam. Let me know if it just seemed like a glitch in the system. Let me know if it was on my bank. Like, let me know what y'all think happened in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, thank you. So thanks for watching this video. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you. Wait, hold on. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So y'all remember the gang, because you'd watch the whole video, you might as well stick around. Follow me on all my socials. That is Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. That is in the outro and also in the description box down below. Call me, beat me if you wanna reach me. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.
Shout out to everybody. I had fun.